What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol LCID for Lucid Group. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will of course be an update. We have a daily roadmap in place. We talk about the stock regularly on the channel. The last couple of things we were mentioning here were the fact that we did firmly break back down inside of this daily range here, giving us a look above and fail. And as we know, the target on this setup is always going to be the bottom end of the range. So we have 36 roughly as a target. If you wanted to be a little bit more precise, 35.85 is technically the area closest to those lower wicks. So we are looking for downside from the daily. It does, it is presenting us rather with a bearish setup, bearish opportunity here. And today we also closed underneath this kind of mid-ish point of the range, 39.65, which you can see did act as prior resistance right around this area. So, if there was going to be some sort of move like this, it would have happened, or it should have happened rather, around that 39.65. Just didn't unfold on today's session. Let's come into the 30-minute time frame, and what you'll notice is that you could start to classify this as a head and shoulders, right? There's your neckline, a little bit of a run to back test it, resist, and again, we closed fairly weak down at the lows of the day, but more importantly, underneath that level, 39.65. So it's not looking great here inside of Lucid if you're trying to play it long. If you are, and you're trying to be patient, waiting for a good entry, I would just suggest that you follow this resistance trend line. Do we take it out or do we remain underneath? You can see that I'm not, cherry picking the high of that wick because I want more data here. So anchor, touch 1-ish, 2, 3, and we're well below it on today's session. So if it's going to flip bullish, it's got to be up and over the resistance trend line. Could tie in nicely for a super resistance at this horizontal area. So I also want to include that one. It's today's high of day. And also the gap close area, roughly 41 even, okay? And if that breaks, this area is not so important anymore. It's really going to be all about the top end of the range again at 42.62. We've talked about that number in depth. So, maybe, this is not a guarantee, but this is one potential idea. Early on tomorrow, if the move is higher, we get into this, we get a bull flag, and then it breaks. That's probably the trade I would look for from here to here, and then monitor for continuation, see if it wants to get up and out of the range once again. But because of everything we've discussed so far, that's probably lower on the list of things that I would be watching out for. Instead, what I would really see is, can we get above this 39.65? If not, sets up the bearish rotation, as we mentioned, to the bottom end of the range. There's really not a whole lot of structure to be watching out for to provide support there, so 36 could happen fairly easily. And just to give you an idea of the relationship of ranges here, we'll look at that on the 30-minute time frame, right? This is probably a lot more attractive to trade for as opposed to this section right in here. You can see how the distance is much larger. And we also know that if we come on over to the trade tab, this is a stock that has plenty of liquidity here on the put side of things, so don't shy away from the downside inside of Lucid. It's completely doable. You're not going to short the shares. It's hard to borrow, but the options contracts are significantly liquid enough to get into a short position at least. So with that being said, the outlook is fairly bearish. We have scenarios for both bear and bull trades. We talked about this being the upside pivot. So keep on your toes and be open to either direction here in Lucid. The broader marketplace right now has been all over the place. We'll see what tomorrow brings. If you enjoyed today's video or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.